Welcome to another special bonus episode of the Trader, a Traitors podcast. I am going to be interviewing the two most recent banished players from the Traitors Australia. That's in episodes 7 and 8. So if you haven't seen episodes 7 and 8, stop listening now, go watch the episodes, come back and join me. I am going to be speaking to Alex, followed by Claudia, a traitor and a faithful. Let's meet our traitor first. Anne Hathaway, welcome to the podcast. How you
That is such
doing?
a huge compliment. I am loving the Anne Hathaway doppelganger thing. It's so great.
I've been thinking it throughout the season. I did a silly little post on Instagram
Yes,
and
and I
said you looked
loved
like.
it. And then all my girlfriends jumped on board and they're like, "Oh my God, you do." And I was like, "Thank you, thank you."
I really think you do. I think there's a lot of celebrity lookalikes in this cast. But anyway, Alex, um,
Huh.
how are you doing? How has it been since episode 7 has aired?
It has been honestly a wild ride. I have loved every minute of it. Obviously, watching that episode back when I am banished, it was all the emotions are still there because that moment was very real and very raw. And, seeing me connect with everyone at round table and sort of saying my goodbyes, watching that back again was hard. And I watched it with my friends and family, which was really, really nice. And we all had a tear and a hug. And but yeah, no, it's been really lovely.
How have the reactions been from people sending messages and commenting? Like, is it a
Right?
mix? Are people being
Yeah.
nice?
It's well, it's been a bit of a mix, right? So like I've had such an incredible amount of love and support, people absolutely backing me, people obviously understanding my position and why I just felt like I had to bow out. And then I have on the other hand people so cross at me like that, why did you do that? Like you were doing so well and you can't bow out as a traitor. And it's like you don't understand unless you're in it.
Yeah.
And in the end, that cloak just got way too heavy for this gal.
Yeah.
But it's been mixed. Mostly support, but there's definitely like die-hard trader people that watch it for the game that have definitely had opinions on me bowing out like that.
And it's very easy for people at home to have wild opinions without just stopping to think, Alex is not crazy. Alex is not an idiot. There must be
Yeah.
a reason. Like, this is the decision. This is the way she ended up playing the game. Even on the podcast, like, we love the show. We watch all the different versions.
Yeah.
My co-host, David Bloomberg, has been talking about reality TV for like 2 decades. And both of us were
Yeah.
like, you know what? That's just the way it goes. And like, you don't know till you're in that game how you're going to respond to it. Why,
Sure.
why did you want to be a traitor in the first place?
Well, I think, the show's called The Traitors. So I am a Leo. I like to be the center of attention. I like the main character energy always. And so I thought, if I'm going to do The Traitors, I want to be a traitor. And I initially thought I could be a really good one. My social play is I connect with people. I am vulnerable with people. I'm storytelling. I like to get to know a person and their background. And I think at the start for me, that was a huge strength because I had the trust of everyone for quite some time. But then I also think that was then my demise as well because I got too close.
Mm,
I didn't have this sort of ability to compartmentalize in the end. Like the lines were too blurry for me
mhm.
between sticking to, the game and being the trader and having that role and taking that hat off and putting another hat on.
Yeah.
In the end, I think I just got too close to everyone, and that ended up actually being my downfall as well.
You've maybe already kind of answered this, but what is the biggest difference between actually being a traitor and playing the game versus what you thought it would be like beforehand?
It's so much harder. So I'd actually never seen any of the shows before when I went into it. So I quickly watched a few of the American season and the UK season. And when you watch it as a viewer, you watch it like, this is fun. This is so much fun. Like, it's whimsical and it's camp and it's a castle and it just seemed so much fun to me. But then when you're in it and you're living it, especially as a trader, it is so mentally taxing.
Yeah.
And as a trader, we do longer hours because we have to be in our secret conclave when everyone else goes to bed. So we have to stay up later and scheme. And so for me, it was definitely so much harder than what I anticipated.
Yeah. On the podcast, we've been talking about every episode and breaking it down in great detail. So I've got some questions that are about specific events and things that happen in the
Yep,
show.
yep.
I actually have an email from Susan. Susan sent me an email with a couple of questions. Our first question was, with the
Hi,
bit she
Susan.
want hi Susan. Weirdly, Susan sent me this before you'd been banned. Susan was just like, whenever you
Oh,
get to talk to Alex, please ask her this. So,
oh my God, so
um,
sweet.
Susan said, with the benefit of hindsight, do you think calling out Dicko and the LSD gang to take heat off Kirby was the right move? Like, now would you do that differently?
Yeah, so when I watch it back, I think Dicko having LSD and having, a few of those faithfuls in that group, it was actually distracting everyone.
Hmm.
So I think it was distracting everyone from us as traders when I look back. But at the time, there was so much heat on Kirby, and it didn't play out on TV, but Dicko was saying Kirby's name even though Kirby was in LSD. And
Yeah,
there was lots of plotting to get rid of Kirby. So in that moment, I wanted to try and sway all of that away from her as much as I could because we were such a unit in that part of the game.
yeah,
So for me, I just wanted to do whatever I could to throw some light on someone else to distract from Henry going for Kirby. But
yeah,
when I watch it back, hindsight is 2020. Dicko was actually distracting everyone from us because there was block voting and the names were usually never myself, Kirby, or Alvin, but it did keep coming back to Kirby in conversation. So I was like, I just have to try and throw a Hail Mary and get them away from her.
yeah. I do have a kind of follow-up question to that, but first of all,
Mm.
I'm going to ask Susan's other question. Susan wants to know, was Daddy Deco, was that a nickname that everybody
Daddy
used? Did you come up with
Dicko.
that? Like, she
I
wants
come
to know
up
where
with
that comes
Daddy
from.
Dicko. I called him Daddy Dicko every day and he loved it. Every day, like, good morning, Daddy Dicko. And he'd be like, good morning, Alex.
So, like, you must have got on quite well with Deco.
Yeah, he and I got on really well. He is so witty, so smart, so funny in an environment that is so high pressure. He brought so much comedic value. He would lighten the room. So
Mhm.
it was really nice to actually have him around. And he and I connected really, really well. He was really upset with me when I put his name up, though, at that
Yeah,
round table.
I bet.
And then he
And
actually avoided me after that.
oh,
He
okay.
kept his he did keep his distance with me after that because
Yeah.
obviously I was coming for him. So he was like, "Well, you're out of LSD now."
Yeah. And there was also some fallout from that with Kirby. Now, I don't know how much you're aware of that in the game. Now that you've watched the episodes and you see all this extra content
I
and you
had
see
no
people say
idea.
things. Yeah, like did you like Kirby and on the podcast, we sort of I could understand why Kirby was so bothered by it, but she was like sort of
Mm.
really mad and thought that you were doing things without
Yeah,
talking
and
to
it's
her
really
about
funny.
it.
Yeah, because I thought I communicated with Kirby well, so I would have like little quick interactions with her
Yeah,
in the manner where I would be like, you're hot, this person is on you, this person is saying your name, we need to do something. Because we always had these codes, like it was either like you're hot or you're a volcano, which means you are up for round table big time tonight,
yeah,
or we would kind of let each other know who's on our tail. So when I saw that play out where she's saying, I'm not communicating with her, she doesn't know what I'm thinking. I was like, girl, I had your back the whole time.
yeah,
It
yeah,
didn't make sense to me. But I think in those initial days, Kirby was hot on everyone's lips. She was very paranoid. She was very stressed because, people were all over her like a rash, especially with Queen and the jacket.
Yeah.
So I think, the game just does get to your head in funny ways.
Yeah. And a couple of my co-hosts suggested maybe it's her survivor background, and so she's sort of on
Maybe.
alert.
Well, she did say to me that, her season of Survivor, she had an alliance with a girl called Pavati, and she said that I reminded her of her and said that I had a very similar energy and vibe. And she did say that she thought I could blindside her. If we got close to the end, would I then do the dirty and blindside her at the end? Like because that's what happened to her on Survivor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I think if that's the same Parvati who went on to be in the Traitors in US, like
I
there's a
think
weird
so.
connection here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to a ask Alex about AJ. Let's talk about what do
Let's
you
talk about AJ.
what do you think happened first? Do you think AJ approached you with his ultimatum that he knows you're a traitor because he could see that you were struggling a bit, or were you struggling because he approached you, or is it something else in between?
Yeah, so I think so leading up to that breakfast, for context, AJ and I were really close from day one.
Yeah.
We connected straight away. But looking back, he really worked me from day one. So
Hmm.
I have a gut feeling, and I haven't had this confirmed by him, but I have a gut feeling that he was onto me early, 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 early. So he would say things to me like, "You're so smart. You're so smart." And he'd be like, "You're so pretty." So he was getting at my ego. Um, and he would say things like, I think you do so well in this game. Have you ever thought about doing Survivor? You'd be so good at Survivor. And he would say all these things from early days. And, I just thought he was being nice and friendly. But I think he was actually tapping into me and my personality and seeing how
Yeah.
I would react to certain things he would say. And, early days, he said to me, "You and I need to stick together." I think this was day 2. "You and I need to stick together. I think you and I can get to the end." And he said, "I think you're a faithful. I'm a faithful." And he said, "Let's not throw out our names to anyone. Let's keep each other safe." But then I started to hear that he was actually saying my name to several people. They're showing that it was just the conclave with Alvin and the car ride. But a few people had actually come to me and said, "AJ's saying that you'd be a good trader," or "AJ's saying you might be a trader," or "AJ's looking at you as a trader." And I'd be like, "What? We had this whole conversation." And even though I am a trader, I was like, he's playing me. So I came into breakfast really peeved because I'd heard it from a few people. And then Alvin told me in conclave, and then I just had enough of him at that point. I was
Yeah.
like, he's playing me. And then I just let it get to me. And then I boiled over and I got really cross. And then I think that was the start of my downfall.
Yeah. I, and
Mm,
from the look of the edit, and maybe there's stuff that we just don't see. When he approached
mm,
you and said, "Look, I know you're a traitor, and here's what I think we should do,"
mm.
did you worry? It looked like you didn't deny it. It looked like you sort of were agreeing without saying it. Did you
Yeah.
worry about being in trouble, or like I can't break the rules here?
Yeah, well, as a trader, you are not allowed to reveal your identity.
Yeah,
And when AJ's looking at me in the eyes and he's crying, and it was this moment where I could not lie. I couldn't defend myself. It's like every fiber of my being was going, you can't lie through your teeth here.
yeah,
And so I almost just freeze up and I start crying myself and I can't say anything. So nothing really comes out. I sort of say, "Well, I could say the same thing about you," which, I'm not going, "I'm not a traitor. What are you talking about?" Because if I wasn't, that's what I would do. But I think it was this huge gotcha moment where he was someone I connected with and really liked. And you could see he's crying and he's his emotions, were raw. And I felt like I just couldn't look him in the eye and lie. It was
Yeah.
just this moment of I was human.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't lie to him because
Yeah.
he got me so blatantly as well.
It's you can't read his mind and you can't speak for him, but why
No.
did you think he was crying?
At the time, I was looking at him and I think I was getting upset because I didn't believe the tears. I sort of didn't understand the tears. I'm like, why are you? I'm like, you should be celebrating this because this is the whole game. Um, I think, he is a professional poker player. He reads people
Yeah.
for, a living. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. I think he was literally playing me. I don't know if
Yeah.
those emotions were real. This is a game. Um, it wasn't a nice conversation. It didn't feel great, but I think he's a phenomenal game player, and that's all I can say. Like his strategy, his tactics, whether you think it was real or he was putting it on, regardless, he got me.
Well, he got you, but you outlasted him. His strategy didn't work
Yeah, I
that
was gonna
well
say,
because he got murdered.
but I got him
Haha.
back. Yeah. Bye bye.
Of course, Alex, we then saw your banishment, and now Kirby has taken on Reese. Just finally, any quick thoughts?
Yes,
Good choice of recruit.
I think this is actually a great choice. And I think I know why Kirby chose to take Reese because, they are already hot on everyone's lips. People are already gunning for them. If they get rid of Reese, Kirby can just recruit again. It still shields her, it still protects her because people are hot on Reese right
Yeah.
now.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited to see what happens.
I know, me
Alex,
too.
gutted you were gone, but we thought you were a great traitor, and
Oh,
you
thank
really
you.
contributed to making this season so exciting, and that was such like a magnetic episode to watch. Those last 6 and 7, so you played a big,
Thank
big
you.
part in the season, and it's been great to talk to you today.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
There we have it straight from Alex. So much to ask about, and so many more things that we could have spoken about. But you can follow Alex on Instagram. And Alex, like I said, likes to sometimes answer questions in her stories. So you could send her a question there if there's something you want to know. Next up, it's time to meet the faithful who was wrongfully, in my opinion, banished next. It's Claudia. Claudia, welcome to the Trader. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. All the better to be speaking to you. I do have to
Oh,
ask straight up, are you still on speaking terms with Luke?
no, screw him, screw his brother. No, I'm joking. Um, no, I am. This is a really funny topic. Look, my family might not be, but I am.
Okay.
He has actually just like told me he has not stopped thinking about it for a year. And I did tell him I was very happy that I keep coming up at dinner because it would just keep haunting him. So he's really apologetic, so I'm fine with him.
Okay. Well, I think he deserves to think about it for a year, so that's fair enough. I'm going
Yeah,
to work my way up to your banishment, of course. I've got a few other questions to ask to sort of get us ready. First of all, now I could cut this out if you want, but I don't know if you know, my co-host a couple of episodes ago on the podcast was Kate from season 1 of Traitors Australia. And Kate
okay.
tells me you had a little meet up and you had some strat chat.
What?
Uh, what advice did Kate give you about the
Oh,
show?
Kate did say that. Well, love Kate. She's the best. So I found out she was actually she was my acting photographer. So
Yeah.
she did my headshots. And I did not know she was on the Traders. And then my manager told me that she was on the Traders. And she was like, you know what? Why don't we just set up a meeting with her? And bless Kate, she's so excited because obviously we love talking about Traders. And she just gave me advice to honestly just be myself. But the best advice she gave me was to be quiet, but not too quiet, just not too loud in the start,
Yeah.
because that's the most dangerous position you can be. And as you have seen with Monarchy, with Queen, it is like detrimental to be like that in the beginning. But yeah, she just gave me tips and I genuinely think they worked. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. Got a little bit of help. So she helped me. She really did help me throughout.
Yeah, and you made it past the halfway point, so you did better than most players. So well done.
Thank you. I just wanted to be not the first one out. So
No,
sorry, Cam.
yeah.
But yeah, I was very happy to just be there, to be honest.
Yeah. I would love it if you would clarify something for our listeners because I asked Deco about this and Deco had no memory of this and couldn't even answer me. In the mission with the seven deadly sins outside the church and you had to pick everyone, did you eventually find out what the traitors had selected as their answers? Because we didn't get to find out.
No, we did not. We,
Oh.
I don't even think the traders remembered. We did not, we did not find out at all, which
Okay.
is astonishing to me. But yeah. So like we'll just have to keep guessing. I think that's the beauty of traders. You just the mystery of it all, right?
Yes,
Ugh.
yes. I'll have to ask the traitors this, really. I should have. I've already spoken to Alex. I really should have asked Alex about this. Okay.
And
Um,
also, I will say though, if it was me who was like one of the like the seven deadly sins, I would be pushing to know which one I was because like that I can't not know what people think
yes,
of me. You know? Yeah.
truly. Can we talk about Shieldgate? I think you were completely justified in wanting to get a shield whenever you can get a shield. And I, as a viewer, find it so frustrating that other players were saying it was selfish and a really terrible thing to do. Was that just the consensus of the group that nobody should try and get a shield and it's a bad thing to do and we shouldn't do that?
You know what? Apparently it was a it was that apparently no one spoke about it. We just all had this like silent agreement that we none of us would get a shield unless we spoke to each other. And I didn't know that that was what Traders was about, to be honest. But the best part about Shieldgate is the fact that no one mentions that Lawson actually told me to go grab it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Lawson.
they didn't put that in. And actually, you hear me say someone told me to go grab it. But you don't hear the someone tell me to go grab it. So then it just looks like I've ran for it. And no one obviously believes me. But even if no one told me to grab it, I would still grab it because it's a shield and I'm in a game. I don't know you guys.
Yeah,
You're in traders. Like we're supposed to get shields.
you
I think I was justified, and I'm glad that you think so too, because bizarre.
absolutely. I've spoken about this so much on the podcast. I'm like, Claudia should get a shield. Like, what's the problem? This is
Very
terrible.
much,
Um,
Matthew. I agree with you.
uh, Alex was banished the night before you, and you were really shocked when Luke first suggested that he was going to go for Alex, and then even when you found out the truth. Why were you so surprised? And you did vote for Alex. Like, why were you so surprised that Alex was the traitor?
Um, I personally think Alex was the best trader out of all of them. I did not suspect her because she just played such a good game. She was so personable. She didn't have a shield over her face,
Mm,
like you could see her emotions fully. But I will say, I think I just didn't spend enough time with her. She was always with Josh, and I think
mm,
that's why he noticed before anyone else did.
yeah.
And when he relayed the like she's done this, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna trust you because you are her best friend in here. And like I'd be dumb not to. Like you've seen her from the start to now, and he could see her cracking, but I couldn't because I didn't really spend much time with her.
Mhm.
So I didn't
Yeah,
know her from the start to the end.
yeah.
So that I was genuinely shocked. I just went with what he said because I trusted him. Stupid. Yeah, it worked out in the end. I think she was fantastic though. She was the best trader on that damn show. Did
She
not
was
suspect one.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we come to Luke, we come to your banishment. During that day, when Luke, he says to everyone at breakfast, he's got it, he's figured it out, he's going to wait until tonight. Did you have a suspicion that it was going to be you?
This is gonna sound so silly. Like I look back at that day and I'm like, wow, Claudia, you were so blindsided. I was telling everyone that day, whatever Luke says, I'm doing what Luke says. Anyone
Yeah.
wants to come for Luke, you come for me. Whatever Luke says, like that's my best friend. He knows what he's doing. But at breakfast, when he was walking in, we always give each other a hug and like we're like, oh my God, like I'm so glad you're here. And it was very weird that morning. I gave him a hug.
Mm,
I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here because we thought he would be murdered.
yeah.
And he goes, I'm not. And then sits down, doesn't give me really like a hug, anything. And I'm like, something's weird. I didn't know what it was. I didn't think he would think it was me.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe he's having a moment. But still, throughout the day, I just kept saying, whatever Luke says, I'm going to go for Luke. I was pushing for Luke to get the dagger as well, because I'm like, Luke has got this in the bag. He knows what he's doing. Did I think it would be me who would put the dagger in the bag? No, but he did.
Yeah.
So silly on my part. I look back on that, I get so sad because I'm like, you were so naive, my girl. So
It's
goddamn naive.
it's not your fault. And again, like the Shield, it was so excruciating as a viewer to watch that round table play out. I was just screaming at the screen, like, no, why are you all listening to him? Like, no, stop it. This is terrible. I mean, did at what point did you kind of maybe this point didn't come, I don't know. Did you just eventually give up and think, nothing I can see is gonna work. I just have to let this happen?
Well, I mean, it's very hard to get a word in edgewise in that table in general.
Hmm.
Um, but I think when there's like all these men coming at you, like I also think when they're brothers, it's a lot harder because you've got tag team,
Yeah.
so like you've got two against one. There's no point defending yourself. I tried as much as I can. You saw like 5% of it. There was so much more that happened at that round table, but I listed off reasons why I wasn't a traitor. Um, and they didn't hear it. They didn't care for it. So I genuinely I was like, you know what? I know you guys are all gonna choose me, so now I'm just gonna have fun with it because screw you all. I'm so excited to get up there and show and literally, sorry, but do this. I wish I could have done that. Um, that was I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with a bang
Yeah.
and it's gonna make me feel good. So screw you all.
Quite right. And
Yeah.
we're almost at the end of our time, but I promised our Patreon member, Anna Banana, that I would ask this question. So, Anna Banana NYC wants me to ask you, what would you have done or felt if you were recruited instead of Reese? Would you have accepted? Did you think you might get recruited?
I didn't think I was gonna get recruited, but I'm damn upset I wasn't because I would have had a party in that friggin' in that room. I would have loved life if I got recruited. Everyone's saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna. If I got recruited, I'd leave." I said, "Are you guys serious? What's the name of the show, babe? What are you talking about?" They're all lying, by the way. They would all say yes.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't believe it for a minute.
Yeah.
Claudia, it has been so much fun talking to you. Thank you so much. We loved you in the show and so felt for you in that last episode. So it
Thank you
was
so much for having me. Thank
it,
you. That's
it was
really,
great.
really, thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much to Claudia and to Alex for talking to me this week. And if you had predicted one of those players might be the players to go, you know you could have won an actual prize for that. I'm running a prediction league on losersleague.com every week. You get to take part, guess what you think might be coming up in the next week's episodes. You build points along the way. It's all free to take part in, but you could win a $90 Redbubble gift card. There are people who've been playing since the start. There are people who've just joined in the last week. You could technically join right now and actually win the whole thing just by making some correct predictions. So head to losersleague.com, search for the trader or search for Traitors Australia. You'll find the game really easily, or you could go to the link in the episode description. Please follow us on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube at the Trader Podcast. You can send me your thoughts and questions there for future players who are going to be banished or murdered and who I might be talking to on the podcast. And you can send me your general thoughts about the episodes that you want us to discuss on the main podcast. And finally, I am hosting a game of The Betrayed online. I've hosted several of them, but the next one is in just a couple of weeks on September the 13th. It's at 3:30 p.m. Western Australian time. I'm going to be online. There will be people joining us from all over the place. You might be a traitor, you might be a faithful, you're going to take part in missions, you're going to be conducting roundtables and banishing players one by one, and hopefully winning the entire thing. Usually the traitors win. If you want to be a faithful and come and prove us wrong, long. You should join up. Tell me what role you would like to play in the game. I'm very excited about it. Tickets are starting at £12 and you can pay what you want above that if you want to pay more. And the link is in the episode description too. I'll be back very soon to talk about episodes 9 and 10 as we build our way towards the end of this season of Traitors Australia. Until then, lighters, traitors.